Good morning. Just kind of a little catch-up report of where things are at. We've had some big plans. They're all still in effect. It's just taking a lot longer to get to them than we'd expected or would like it to. Um, so what are those plans? What are we doing? What are we looking at? Well, one of them was the well. We had applied for a cost share with the state, and we were anticipating being able to be approved for that this winter and get in line with the local driller for a well. And by the time this plot was ready in the spring and start putting vegetables in and things are progressing on that front, we were hoping and expecting to have water to go with it. We found out that that's not going to happen. The state reviewed our application and decided that our existing well on the other side of the ditch, on the other farm tract, was sufficient for what we had. We appealed that decision and had them come back out and look at it again, and they did agree that the well on the other side of the ditch is not functional for watering this plot, this tract. They did agree to that. They did say that running a pipe across the ditch, it would imminently freeze every winter and cause problems, which they're 100% correct. But what they did follow up with is that we don't have anything here to water. That despite clearing and prepping and building out the pads and getting things moving, we're not far enough along in the process that the state is willing to help us with the well. If we want one now, we'd have to front the entire cost, which is about $9,000 according to the contractor. One of the things that the state said was that if we had infrastructure here and we had crops growing, that they would be more apt to help us in terms of reviewing a new application, looking at the plot again, confirming that we're actually growing crops, and then maybe they'll help us. So despite the fact that that's putting the cart before the horse, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, it's not my program, I don't get to run it, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me for small farms like what we do that are very water dependent to have to wait until we've established a crop, let it die, and then say, look, we need water. But this is their rules, it's their game, so we're going to do the best we can with it. What we've done to accommodate that is we've ordered one 50-foot tunnel, and we'll build that out here. As soon as it comes in, we'll bring in some compost, level out those beds, and get that ready to go. What we've also done is order seeds and supplies to plant 12 beds over my left shoulder here of cauliflower and broccoli and cabbage. We're going to plant all of those out and let them grow through late winter, early spring. And the point behind that being is that we're establishing a crop that can be managed with what little time I have to work it right now, with just some basic maintenance, feed it heavy, and pray for rain, and we'll see what happens. Normally we would run those crops on some kind of weed barrier to keep the weed pressure down. However, with the amount of water that they'll require from rain, we're going to need to allow them to soak up everything they get every time it rains. So no weed barrier, which means more time with the stirrup hose and weeding and whatnot. So that's kind of where we're at with that. It's not optimal, doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's the state's rules. And if we want help through this program, we're going to have to build a farm and then hope that they'll help with the well. If not, we'll scrimp, save, and figure out a way. We'll find a way. It's going to be tough, but nobody said this was easy. We'll see how it works.